So I've been thinking, what is normal? Because I've been constantly hearing the phrase, when do we get back to normal? But what has normal been, and have we been moving away from normal as we know it long before COVID-19? As Seth Godin mentions in his book, Linchpin, a little over a century ago, we began building a system that is now so ingrained that we believe it's always been here. And we're still operating as if this system will be here forever. A system of interchangeable and disposable labor. As a country, we began developing this idea of the American dream. A dream that, for whatever reason, is difficult to interpret any other way besides this. You show up, you follow the rules, you work hard, and then you work harder, and climbing this ladder will eventually lead to your prosperity. But what we really developed was factory farming, and we created an entire system that was built to build systems that produce money. In 1913, Henry Ford pioneered a system that was all about getting things done fast, efficient, and productively. His assembly line reduced the time that it took to make the Model T from over 12 hours to just 2 hours and 30 minutes. And this process became even more efficient with the implementation of mechanical conveyor belts and machines. The system was so productive that every single industry created their own assembly line or factories. Obviously, we still have factories that make cars, but we also have factories that make clothes, factories that sell clothes, factories that sell insurance, factories that act as an ad agency, factories that produce content, and factories that raise money for nonprofits. The goal was to create a factory that's efficient with labor that's interchangeable. We built a system that's based on getting people to buy lots of stuff, but it's also based on training the workers to be cogs in the machine. Workers who are willing to do what they're told, willing to be interchangeable and compliant. The more they do this, the more the American dream seems achievable. We've been lied to, and COVID-19 is exposing that. Let's start with our ABCs, or attendance-based compensation. And for a second, let's just view compensation as good grades. You see, this entire system in operation begins to enter our minds at a very young age. We're taught to fit in, to follow the rules and listen to our teachers. And the more we do what we're told and do it to the standards created by the system, well, we'll be well compensated with straight A's and get to move up to the next grade. Between my 8th and 9th grade year, this got personal for me, and I found myself at a major crossroad between doing what I was told I was supposed to do and doing what I felt compelled to do. And that was to work for me and create. Up until this point in my school career, I studied for every test and completed every piece of homework. And I walked away from every semester smiling at my straight A's. But outside of school, I was constantly being creative and filming with my brother and cousin. We were making home movies and skits. I even started acting classes, and we dabbled in music a little bit. Plus, I found ways to earn money starting in 5th grade and continued to find ways to earn money from that point forward. So as I transitioned into high school, I felt completely unmotivated to even show up for the next 4 years. I just didn't fit in. Not because of the clothes I had or the shoes I wore or any of my possessions. Though public school systems are a great way to create a system to get people to buy lots of things so they feel like they fit in, but I won't get into that. It was like the more that I focused on doing stuff that gave me energy, the more tension I felt between myself and other students, and especially the teachers. But now I realize that tension existed simply because I was unwilling to conform to the system. So as most everyone else worked their way through school and onto college, I did the bare minimum just to graduate and worked on myself and what I wanted. But that doesn't mean I didn't experience the system. Throughout high school, I held 3 actual jobs, meaning taxes were taken out of my check. One was for a fast food chain, the other was for a grocery store chain, and the third was in a warehouse of the Big Brown Shipping Company. In each and every one of these jobs, I felt the same tension that I did in school. I just didn't fit in. I felt like my human nature to think critically and problem solve was diluted by manuals and instructions. It was crazy to me that every time I would offer up an idea, maybe something more efficient or more organized, I would get looked at as if I just shocked their system and shorted the circuit. But then I thought, why would these companies want little old me? Cashier taking fast food orders, bagger of groceries, package scanner and loader. Why would they want me to offer up any new ideas? I'm just another replaceable part of the process, another cog in the machine. I'm just interchangeable, disposable labor that is compensated almost solely based off of me just showing up. Attendance-based compensation. But this didn't discourage me. Instead, it motivated me to lean even more into my ideas, to prove that I could be more than just a cog in the machine, to prove that my ideas, my critical thinking, my creativity, and my desire to actually feel purpose in my work was valuable, if not to my employer, then to me. Over the last decade, the opportunities for people like me have been abundant. The internet has put a factory in everyone's hands, and we no longer have to be a cog in someone else's machine. We can create our own. But even the people who don't want to create their own still want to find purpose in their work. They still want to take responsibility for the decisions that they're making at their jobs. We have reached the end of attendance-based compensation. Successful companies are paying for people who can make a difference, people who are remarkable, creative, and generous. Work is getting personal again. The last 10 years have brought massive connectivity and opportunity to do what we actually want in life, to build a community that we want to be in. But how the normal economic system was built did bring great technological and human progress, but it also came with inherent unsustainability. And over the last few years, the economy has felt like it's in this weird tug of war, which maybe unfortunately made a crisis-driven economic transformation inevitable. But right now, we have the ultimate power in deciding what's next for ourselves as a connected world and how we want to change the system. And this may very well be the greatest economic shift that I'll ever see. And because of that, I'm grateful to be experiencing it. But I think we should stop thinking that we're going back to this normal. In my opinion, the old normal is gone. COVID-19 has brought an end to the economic system as we've known it for so long. But hey, that's just my opinion. Jump into the conversation in the comments section, and if you like this video, please show your support and smash the like button and hit subscribe. And remember, you get what you give, so give good.